Hi, everyone. I'm here with the Speech Solution, and we have another fantastic activity for you. This one's called Train Tracks, a hybrid activity for green screen and in person. And we know there's lots of train lovers out there, so this is a perfect activity for them. So these are all the backgrounds you get for your green screen. There's 14 different backgrounds, and they work on all of these concepts and skills. And of course, we give you the printables that you need. Now, one of the really fun things that we do is we give you instructions for in-person on how to make a board with just simple fishing line where the children can actually move the trains back and forth on the board. So it's a really fun, hands-on activity. And then with the trains, of course, we size them up nice and big so they look great on those background slides. And we, of course, give you our 4 therapy cards. And these cards are what make our program so unique and so wonderful. So I'm going to give you an example on how the articulation cards can work with very beginning students to very advanced students. So let me show you how that works. So this is our first background, and you would use this like in person with the fishing line, and the kids can move the trains back and forth. Or here that we're going to put the trains on here. So what a new early language skills child would do is you would use the position articulation card, and at the bottom we have little phrases and sentences that they would use for this activity. So an example of that is they would say, let me roll, because they can roll the dice, or they can let me spin. They'll say, let me roll, let me spin. And we let them do that. And they say, I got number 2. And then we're gonna get train number 2. And they're gonna say, go train number 2. So we're gonna put train number 2 up here. And they would say that again. They let me roll, let me spin. Maybe they get train number 1 and they say, go train number 1. And then as the train moves down the track, they can say, go train number 1, and then stop train, go train, stop train, until we get all the trains up there. So that's an example of using these articulation cards for very early language skills. All right, now let's say that you have a child working on a very specific sound. They're working on SH in the final position. Well, you would use the position articulation card. We have 3 different sentences written for SH. The first sentence is packed full of initial SH sounds. The second sentence is packed full of medial SH sounds. And so you would go to the third sentence, which is packed full of final SH sounds. So they would say this sentence before they rolled the dice or use the spinner. Train, rush and push down the tracks until you dash across the finish line. And so then they would, after they say that sentence with good sounds, they would get a train to put on the board, or they would move an existing train. Okay, so we would just keep going forth and putting up trains. Now let me give you an example of a student who's very advanced. They've already worked on all of their initial, medial, and final sounds, but they need more practice. They need to be challenged until their sounds transfer. So we have the high frequency articulation card. And this card is fantastic for advanced students. So I'm going to give you a sample of a sentence for a student that has been working on the R target sound. And you will see that they will get 14 different trials and practices with each turn as they use a sentence like this. My tricky train will travel to the next railroad station as it races down the train track. Boxcar, get ready to race down the track so you can be the winner. So you can see how advanced that practice is. And I know a lot of times when we're using green screens, that's one of the hard things that we have is having something that can challenge, that we can use with older children that are working on more advanced skills. So we have you covered from early language skills clear to advanced, because we have our 2 different articulation cards that come with this activity. So this is how it would work. You can use a spinner, you know, an electronic spinner, or have a child use a dice or a spinner at home too. All right, so, oh, the other thing I wanted, let me stay right here on this activity for this backdrop, because there's 2 other things you can do with this backdrop. So you can work on quantity concepts with this background. And so you can say to the child, okay, we're gonna move all of the trains, you know, to the end of the track. And so then you can say, okay, which one should I move? And they'll tell you until we get all of the trains to the end of the track. But you can say, we're gonna move none of the trains. So should I move this one? No, that's right, because we're moving none of them. You can say move one of the trains, and they can tell you which one to move down the track. And you can say, let's move a few of the trains, and so they would move those. Let's move half of the trains. Let's move some of the trains. So this is a great activity to use for quantity concepts. All right, another thing that you can use this background for is for negation. So you can say, okay, we're gonna move all of the trains, but not the black one. So what should I do with this train? Yeah, I can move it, it's not black, so I'm gonna move the train down the track. Okay, what about this one? Yes, we cannot move it, this is black, so we're not moving the black train. What about this one? Can I move this one? Yes, that's right, it's not black, so we're gonna move this train down the track. All right, so you can do that. You can also say move 3 trains, but not the others. Move the trains that move a train that's not red. And then you can put the trains in different positions like I have here. And you can say, move the train that is not first. Move all of the trains, but not the one that's in last place. Move all of the trains, but not your favorite. So you can see, you can do all kinds of activities with the negation here. Okay, so let's go to the next background here. Let me move these out of the way. Okay, so let's go to this one. Now this one is used for spatial concepts. And so you're gonna put a train on here just as a reference, okay? So you have one up there. And then you can tell them, all right, I want you to, we're gonna put this black train, we're gonna put this black train in back of the blue train. So tell me where I should put it. Does it go here? Or does it go here? Which one's in back? Yes, very good, okay. So where is the black train? It's in back of the blue train. Good job. And then you can continue with this, you know, put the yellow train in front of the red train. You can say, let's make this train go forward. Let's make this train go backward. Put the yellow train before the purple train. Put it after the blue train. Put it ahead of the orange train. Put the blue train first and the red train last. You can line them all up here. You can even do things where you have the black train is below the blue train is above. So it's amazing what you can do with a lot of trains and some simple tracks. You can work on a lot of different spatial concepts with this background. Okay, and then this one is for following directions. And so you can start out again with a train on the track, and you can tell them, oh, look at this yak. Well, first we'll put the train on the track. Okay, and you can say, we're gonna move this train all the way down the track, or we can keep adding trains to our track. But the way we're gonna do that is we have to follow some directions. So do you see this little yak right here? I think he's saying, what's that? Says the yak. there's something behind this bush that he's looking at. Let's see what's in there. And so then you'll pull a little card out. Oh, there's something that you're supposed to do. So this is what I want you to do. And you can have them just do one action, or they can do all three, or just two. So put your hands on your hips, show me your favorite train, and then count to 10. And so you have them do those actions. Now they at home can just have little squares cut out that look like trains, different colors, or they can draw their own train, so that they can use them at home to follow the directions, and you will see them follow those. Very good. So then you're going to move the train down the track, or you're going to add another train to the track until the train gets really long, and you can move in and you can pull out another following direction card. This one would say, wiggle your fingers, show me train number 4, and then say, all aboard. All right, and we give you 8 different following direction cards, so you don't have to think about what to do. You just fill up your pocket and you're ready to go. Okay, and then these next backgrounds are for WH questions. And so you're going to tell them, hey, we want to, each time you answer a question for me, we are going to build a train track that goes through this farm. And so you can start asking them some questions, like, you know, what do trains carry? And as they answer it, then they're gonna get a track. And then who drives a train? And they answer and they get part of the train. When do trains blow their horns? And they answer that and get the next part. And then how do trains move? And you can keep asking them questions. We give you all kinds of questions on our language training card that comes with this activity. So you don't even have to think, all the prep's done for you, but you keep adding things so the train's completely built. And then you can say, very good, we've got our train built, and now the train gets to move on down the track. And you can make that train go backwards and forwards as much as you want as a reward for answering those good questions until it disappears. All right, so Train Tracks is available at thespeechsolution.com. So go check it out and subscribe to our YouTube station. And then also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And let's watch a child's speech take flight.